Hello, 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 hello. Dinig na ba ako ngayon? Ayan, sige, let's try to check. 20 seconds delay. Ayan. Okay na. Ayun. So basically, nagsasalita ako for mga mga magka 5 minutes na tapos wala palang audio. O, di ba? Ay, nako, ang buhay ito. No. Ito yung mahirap kapag masyado ako maraming ek-ek na nakakabit sa laptop eh. Akala ko yung audio is okay na, yung pala hindi pa pala. Ayun, but anyways, maraming salamat for checking and sa mga nag-post na wala palang audio. Ayan. Okay. Parang nasa loob ng kuweba. Eto, maayos na ba or hindi pa? Hello? Mas maayos na ba to ngayon or echo? Wait lang. Silipin ko nga, mag-on din ako para at least ma-troubleshoot ko siya ng mas mabilisan. Kasi minsan, pagka tinotopak yung ayaw gumana eh. Sandali lang ha, para makasabay ako and mapakinggan ko rin siya ng mas maayos. Yan. Okay. Ayun, okay na. So mukhang mas maayos na 'to ngayon. Ayan. So pasensya na doon sa konting technical difficulties. Ayan. Okay. So hello sa inyong lahat and good evening. Pasensya na kung hindi ko na dahil sa technical issues, pero ayan, maraming salamat for tuning in and sa pagsubaybay. Okay. It's already 8:05. Gusto ko mag-start tayo para mas makarami, no? Kasi medyo exciting na boring na exciting yung topic natin today. Maybe for some of you medyo exciting pa siya, but for me, since medyo na gamay ko na siya, kaya medyo boring na siya sa akin. But hopefully, ma-explain ko siya ng maayos nang hindi kayo maantok. Okay? But let me know. Okay? Sige, tika ha. Higup lang muna ako. Mamaya-mayang konti, baka mag-excuse ako dahil may sinasalang akong nagsasaing pa ako para sa dinner ko mamaya. Kaya pagpasensyahan niyo na. Okay, sige. So final check lang muna tayo, guys. Paano naman ako? Pa-press number 4 kung malinaw, maayos. Yung kasi by maayos, wala ng audio. Ay, sorry, wala ng echo ha. Naka-on kasi yung AC ko, so baka yun yung naririnig yung background noise. Pero hopefully okay naman siya. Otherwise, let me know. Pwede ko namang patayin. Okay? So, pa-press number 4 lang po. Ayun, maraming salamat. Ayos. Yun, game. Sige. So, ayun na, no? Puro mga number 4. Okay, ayos. Sige, let's start. Excited na ako. Ayan. So, hello everyone and good evening once again. This is the Monday edition of our StockWentuhan. So dun sa mga bago pa lang dito, this is a regular show here in StockSilog where we live stream both sa Facebook tsaka sa YouTube. Every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. We talk about special topics, Q&A, stock reviews, at kung ano-ano pa. Baguhan ka man or experienced na trader, you'll definitely learn something here. And syempre, everything that we talk about here are not recommendations but for research purposes only. Ikaw pa rin ang pipindot ng buy or sell button, so please, think before you click. And syempre, if you think that this session is helpful, please follow our social media accounts, especially sa YouTube where we post yung mga timestamp ng bawat topic, questions, and stock codes mapag-uusapan natin today. Popost yung link sa comment section below. Share the stream na rin para mas marami tayong matulungan. When you subscribe and share the stream, this helps us continue to deliver the videos and content completely free. Ayan. Okay. So, having said all that, let's start na. Agad-agad. QOTD tayo muna ha, para at least may konti tayong pag-isipan bago or while waiting doon sa mga special topics natin for today. Okay? So, ito ang QOTD natin, which is lumabas na to over the weekend eh. But nevertheless, gusto kong pag-usapan na rin natin para at least kompleto tayo lahat, di ba? Ayan. So, as I've mentioned, lumabas ito over the weekend. May mga news and sikat na sikat ito sa Facebook groups. So, ayan. Our question of the day is, lilipad na ba si Premier Horizon dahil sa inclusion nito sa FTSE, AsiaPac Microcap? If you think yes, why? If you think no, why not? And so if you wanted to participate, QOTD lang tayo, then your answers below. Yan. So yun na, malinaw yung ating QOTD for today. Okay? Now, to give some insights around this one, I have decided na ang ating topic for today is about FTSE. Okay? Marami sa inyo siguro nahihiwagaan, ano ba tong FTSE Asia Pac Echos na to, 'di ba? So on this session, I'll try to explain kung anong ibig sabihin nito, ano yung relevance, and potentially ano ang ine-expect natin na magiging galawan sa merkado ng isang stock na ma-add, malalaglag o made-demote sa mga ganitong klase ng groups. Okay? So, ayan. To help on that, saan yun? Ayan. So, ito nakuha ko lang to sa AP Securities. Pinost nila ito kanina. Actually, halos saktong-sakto while I was trying to make some research of what FTSE is. Biglang na-post nila to. So, sabi ko, gamitin ko na lang din. O, yan, di ba? Para at least, at least legit na galing sa broker at hindi lang research ng kung sino-sino, di ba? Yan. So, to start with, FTSE. This is also called FTSE. FOOTSE. SEE pala. Yan. So, FTSE, this is a Financial Times Stock Exchange na based ito sa London. Okay? Bakit umaabot dito yung mga products nila? Well, technically, hindi naman ito mismo yung product ng FTSE. But, mamaya, I'll try to explain kung ano nangyayari. Okay? So, among the various indices offered by FTSE is itong sa FTSE Asia Pacific, excluding Japan and China Index. So, composed ito ng mga large, medium, and small cap companies in emerging markets in Asia Pacific, excluding Japan and China. Tinanggal sila dahil may sarili silang grupo. Okay? So, to qualify here, companies must meet requirements including size, liquidity, free float, and kung ano-ano pa. Okay? Now, to make sense out of this, ano ba tong FTSE na to at anong kinalaman ng Financial Times Exchange dito sa mga nangyayari sa atin dito sa Philippine Stock Exchange, no? So, to attempt na i-explain yung ganitong part, no? Let's talk about the index muna. Okay? So, etong FTSE kasi, this is a type of an index. Okay? So, yun lang muna ha. Type of an index. So, ano ibig sabihin ng index? An index is a collection of stocks based on a specific standard. Okay? Basket ito. Also, this is often served as a benchmark against which to evaluate performance of a portfolio's return. Dito nyo na madalas na maririnig, di ba sabi nila, the blue chip stocks is the benchmark of the Philippine economy based on the strongest companies in the Philippines. Yan. So those are the index or the benchmarks. No? Again, sige ganito. In simple terms, basket. Yun na lang. Grupo ito ng mga stocks. An example of that is of course ito. We know PSEI. Dito sa atin sa Philippines, when we say index, automatically ang ibig niya sabihin PSEI or the blue chips. No? Reason behind that is because isa lang ang index natin dito sa Philippines. And that's the PSEI. Okay? While on other countries or other markets, madalas tatanungin ka pa, aling index ba ang tinutukoy mo? Because there are a lot. Okay? Now, other example apart from PSEI are S&P 100, Dow Jones. By the way, itong mga 100, Nasdaq 100, S&P 100, ang ibig sabihin nito is, ito yung number of stocks na napapaloob doon sa index na yon. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, S&P has 100. There are 100 companies inside. Sa Nasdaq, same thing, 100. No? Dow Jones, this is 30. Similar to PSEI. Meron lang 30 stocks dito. Okay? And then FTSE naman, inad ko na lang din siya dito. Actually, marami ang sa FTSE. No? Pero ang normal dyan is yung FTSE 100 din. No? These are the 100 stocks sa may London Stock Exchange. No? But nevertheless, meron din kasi itong mga subgroups or subcategories na tinatawag. No? We have yung sa FTSE Global. And then ito nga, yung pinag-uusapan natin ngayon is the FTSE Asia Pac. No? And sa FTSE Asia Pac, meron din tong yung pinakita ko sa inyo kanina, may large, may mid, may small, may micro. Okay? So, ayan. Ngayon, bakit pa natin pinag-uusapan tong index na to? At akala ko ba pa ang pag-uusapan natin or yung Premier Horizons Alliance pag-uusapan natin? Okay. The reason behind that is because over the weekend, nagkaroon ng isang news, no, related sa Premier Horizon. And ito yung part na mai-add daw si PA sa FTSE. Sa FTSE Micro Cap. Okay? And then kanina nagkaroon din ng isang disclosure si PA na kinonfirm nga niya, no, na mapapabilang sila. Okay? I'll try to find that. Alam ko nandito pa yun. Yan, ito. So this is the kanina to, Feb 22. No? I hope kita siya. Okay. So ayun, PA is set to be included. Okay. Clarify ko lang muna pala ha. Set to be included. Effective March 19. So ibig sabihin kasi nito, anytime between today and until March 19, there is a good chance na, hindi naman there's a good chance, but there is a slight, very, very, very slight chance na pwedeng mag-iba pa siya. Okay? Until March 19. Okay? Na mapapabilang si PA sa Global Equity Index Series ng Asia Pacific. Again, excluding yung Japan and China ha, dahil as I've mentioned, may sarili sila. Okay. The inclusion was announced in Feb 19 for the index series ng semi-annual review in connection with the FTSE announcement. Okay. So, ayan. Kayo na lang bahalang magbasa kung gusto nyong basahin lahat-lahat. But essentially, kinonfirm lang naman nila rito. Ito yung mga requirements to be included dun sa FTSE part na yon. Dapat may minimum voting rights, free float, foreign ownership, tapos investable market cap of about $25 million and liquidity thresholds. Ayan, based on the medium daily trading volume per month. So ibig sabihin, kasama dito yung volume ng isang stock para mapabilang ka doon kay FTSE. No? And din is mention dito ni PA na in the past several months, yung volume nila ay sumaabot ng almost 190 million. Yan. So parang ginastify lang nila kung bakit. Okay, and then dito sa part na to, ito na yung buong business ni Premier Horizon. Okay, so ito yung reason kung bakit natin siya pinag-uusapan today. Okay, now the question now is, okay, so mukhang exciting kasi mukhang may effect ito kay PA, no? Kasi FTSE is a global benchmark, no? It's a global benchmark katulad ng MSCI. So, iba pa yung MSCI sa FTSE. Okay? But then, FTSE yung pinag-uusapan natin today. So, anong pwede nating ma-expect dito sa part na to? But before I go to that, no, I just wanted to remind everyone despite the fact na si Premier Horizon ang nag-post ng part na yon, there are actually several pa. May iba pa na pumasok, lumabas, na demote sa FTSE. Apart kay pa. Okay? So ito yung papakita ko lang sa inyo very quickly. Ayan. So FTSE pa, FTSE Asia Pacific excluding Japan and China ng March 2021. Ayan. So ito yung mga changes na nangyari or na mangyayari by March 19. Okay? First one. From large before, na-demote siya into mid-cap. This is Aboitiz, Philippines. Okay? Next. Ito naman na-promote from micro. Mas maliit yung micro, di ba? Micro tas mid. Ayan. From micro, ASEN. From micro, naging mid. Okay? And then, may mga new addition naman sa micro cap. Dito, pasok si pa. Pero may kasama siya. Sino-sino to? We have Arit, PNX, Lopez, and MRC. Yan. Since merong pumasok, then that means meron ding nawala. Sino-sino ito? We have Century Peak, Vita, and Alco, Arthalan. So, itong tatlong to ang nawala naman sa FTSE. Pinalitan sila na itong mga to. So, technically, nawala din si ASEN sa micro. Pero lumipat siya, na-promote siya into mid-cap. Si AP naman, na-demote ng konti from large, naging mid. Okay? Ayan. So, at least now, alam na natin kung ano yung mga naging changes dito kay FTSE. So, ayun. Now, let me go to some more information kung paano natin siya magagamit being a normal trader dito sa Philippines. No? So anong pakialam natin kung naging micro, naging na-delete siya na large, going to mid, micro to mid, etc. etc. No? Let's try to use this one. How do foreign or anyone basically use this index? Kasi di ba, as I've mentioned, everything that we are talking about here so far are indices. No? Even si FTSE ay indices. Okay. Reminder, we cannot invest directly sa indices. Hindi tayo pwedeng dumiretso na, bibili ako ng, Bibili ako ng S&P 100. Hindi ganun kadali yon. Okay? So, instead, there are actually two ways, no? Yeah, technically there are two ways. The two most common is yung una through ETFs. Through ETFs dahil ETFs, they track the movement of the index. Okay? This is the same reason why saan yan? Why? Yan. This is the same reason why pag bibili ka sa iyong broker, hindi ka makakabili ng PSEI. Wala yan. Tangko. Pero, you can buy FMETF. You can buy that. Same thing here. Diba? Yung mga index na yan, hindi mo mabibili yan. Pero, pwede kang bumili using ETFs. Okay? So, ayan. And then the second way is, of course, buying separately. Siyempre, provided na meron kang broker. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Remember that we are talking about indices. Grupo ito, basket of stocks. So, kung gusto mong bumili nun, pwede kang bumili ng ETF na lang, which is ito. Kasi isa lang to sa Philippines. Isa lang ang ETF natin so far, and that is First Metro Philippine Equity, which tracks the movement of our index. Okay? So, paano naman to? Ito naman is mano-mano. Kung dito kanina, you can buy isang ETF or isang type of stock, and then you can already sort of buy all the laman ng isang buong basket na yon. Dito naman, bibilhin mo siya ng pira-piraso. That is if you want to have that actual stock. No? So for example, balikan ko yung kanina ha. Yan. So kung magkaroon ng exposure sa microcap, FTSE Asia Pacific Microcap. So I can either buy an ETF na nagtatrack sa mga microcap, or I can just simply look at the listing sa microcap, ARIT, PNX, LTZ, MRC, and PA, and then I'll buy them na lang. Separately. Yun yung ibig kong sabihin dito. Bibilhin ko siya ng separate. Provided they have a broker account here in the Philippines. No? Kasi kung wala ka namang broker dito sa Philippines and you are interested on those, then wala. Hindi ka makakabili. And the only way that you can do that is through ETFs na lang. Okay? So I hope clear siya ha kung bakit importante yung bagay na to. Because ito yung, again, long story short, dito kasi makikita natin na yung mga foreign there is a good chance na if they wanted to have an exposure sa Philippine market, most likely ang una nilang pupuntahan, apart from the ETF, is etong mga benchmark providers katulad ng FTSE. Okay? So, ayan. Now, let me go to the comment section. If you guys have question around this one, kung may hindi kayo naintindihan, post nyo yung comment and then I'll try to explain them further. Okay? So, ayan. Let me try to check. Saan na ba ako? Ayan. Okay. Mamaya na siguro yung mga QOTD. Meron mga specific question around this one? Or naintindihan nyo ba kung anong ibig sabihin? Okay. No problem. Sabi ni Marilyn dito, anong difference ng ETF at buying equity index? Okay. Marilyn, can you clarify, anong ibig mo sabihin by equity index? Saan mo siya binibili? Is this related sa mutual fund? Okay. So yun gusto ko nang maintindihan. Kasi when we say ETF, this is a product ng isang exchange. Produkto ito wherein you can buy. Versus an index na it's just a collection. Okay? Equity index fund. I see. Okay. I think what you're referring to is from the mutual funds, no? Okay. The difference between the two is sobrang liit lang. Almost nothing. No? Ang nakikita ko lang magiging difference is that sa ETF, no? If you have a broker account, you can buy it directly. Bibilhin mo na siya diretso. And then you are now a holder of all the 30 top stocks dito sa Philippines. That's it. Sa equity index fund naman is essentially yung fund manager mo, siya yung bibili nun on your behalf. And then siya yung mag-manage. This is parang buying your own stock versus having a mutual fund manager manage your stock. Ganun lang yung difference nun. Okay? So, ayan. Equity index fund po ng mutual fund through call. Yeah, exactly. Yun. Okay. Si Christian, paano po niyo po malalaman kung mid-cap? Depende yun kay FTSE or kung sinong benchmark provider ang magbibigay nun. Kasi every benchmark provider may sarili-sarili kasi silang measurement or criteria, no? So, pwedeng ang mid-cap ng kay FTSE ay iba may konting difference sa mid-cap ni MSCI. So, possible yon. So, sila yung magbibigay nun. May mga researchers kasi sila. So, kanya-kanyang, ano yan, kanya-kanyang produkto yan dun from the benchmark group. Okay? What is the impact of being included in the FTSE in previous stocks? Hindi ko na-gets yung previous stocks, Luis. If you can expound on that. Okay? Ang impact neto is essentially it's just the sentiment. Sentiment lang ng market. Ano ibig sabihin may sentiment market? Let's say for example you are in a classroom setting. 'Di ba? Now, you are looking at each of your classmates, let's say almost equally the same, no? In terms of kung sino yung kokopyahan mo kapag meron kang exam. Okay? Being included in FTSE or on any type of benchmark, it means na yung mga stocks na yon, kumbaga, meron silang something in them, kaya sila na-consider. Okay? Now, going back dun sa classroom setting natin, just imagine this classroom setting is, ito yung mga top 10 sa classroom ninyo. Top 10 in terms of grades. Ayan. Okay? Now, again, dun sa potential impact, yun, syempre, tataas lang yung tingin mo doon sa kaklase mo na yun na nakapasok sa top 10. Same thing dito sa stocks. No? So, yun yung tinatawag natin na sentiment, market sentiment. Okay? Now, meron bang way or meron bang potential na pagtaas dito sa presyo dahil doon? I would say yes, meron. Meron din naman talaga. Siyempre, kasi we are now talking about foreign funds na pwedeng pumasok doon sa mga stocks na yon. Dahil again, hindi nila kilala ang mga stocks natin, all 280 stocks, and one way for them para malaman kung ano-ano yung mga stock na yon is syempre to refer doon sa mga or to reference kung ano yung mga sinasabi ng mga benchmark providers. Okay. Sabi ni Rab, pag bumili ba ng ETF, same allocation of all stocks na included sa ETF? Same allocation. To be part of an ETF, meron din niyang sa PHAsaok kasi meron tayong tinatawag na weight. No? Let me, alam ko nakikita yun eh. PHAsaok.com.ph. May weights kasi yung mga yon. Umiyak ka na. Market information. PSE. Oh no. Need to upload the flash player. Meron yun eh. Nakita ko rin before. Meron siya sa may right hand side. Total number of weights. Ang pinakamalaking weight natin sa Philippines is sa PSEI ICSM dahil siya may pinakamalaking market cap. Okay? So, ayun. So, meron siyang mga weight distribution. Sabi ni Michael, may mga stock na ba previously na na-include sa FTSE para ma-check yung chart if ano ang naging effect para after ma-include sila the last time. Meron. Yeah. Kasi remember yung pinakita ko sa inyo kanina? And AP was with large cap. So nasa large cap na siya dati. Tapos nag-mid cap. Yung kung kailan siya nangyari, yun yung wala akong data kasi. No? Usually nag-change ito on a quarterly basis, no? So we have every March, May, August, November. Doon nilalabas ng mga benchmark providers yung updated list. Ayan. Sa beta ata meron. Sige nga, try ko nga ulit. Interested ako makita yun eh. Hindi na siya, asan na yun? Wala na, no? Paano ko makakapunta dun? Ito. Okay, I understand. And then market indices. Yan. Indices composition. Wala eh. Hindi siya nakalagay dito. Ito. Market closed. Wala eh. Pero, yeah, I remember nakita ko yun before eh. Naging reference ko pa siya at one point. Pero wala, hindi na siya lumalabas sa ngayon. So, I don't know why. Or baka sa ibang ano yun, sa ibang site ko siya nakita. Okay, sige. So, ayan. Okay. Now, going back doon sa ating question of the day kanina, I think yun lang yung mga halos question ngayon, no? Ayan. So, question of the day. I'd like to know your thoughts about this. So, lilipad na ba si PA dahil sa inclusion nito sa FTSE? Why or why not? So, if you wanted to participate, pa-type lang QOTD para alam ko na dito kayo nag-respond. And then, we can move doon sa, doon sa part na yon. Okay? So, let me try and check yung mga nag-QOTD na kanina. Subukan natin siyang basahin. Sabi niya, dahil maraming kapasok na investor, small, mid, large scale investor, Marvin is the new Elon ng Philippines. That's a bold claim, Christian. Holder here. Okay. Yeah, definitely merong papasok. Hindi lang natin alam kung gaano kadami yung papasok, pero yeah, no. I'll try to explain that in more detail later on, no, once na I share to you my opinion about this one. Yan. Si Rolando naman, depende pa rin sa sentiment ng mga traders. React na lang sa price action. That's true. Yan. Ano pa ba? Ito. Sabi naman ni Harley, it's a yes for me dahil sa napasama na siya dyan. Mas makikilala na siya and more investors welcome. And based on funda, sobrang aggressive niya lalo na ang SquidPay at base naman sa technicals, nag-form na siya ng cap and handle. Okay? That's good, no? At least may combination tayo ng fundamental at saka technical dito sa sinabi ni Harley. Okay? Yan. Ano ba? Yung mga question, ito. Yan. Sabi ni Marlene, depende po sa market sentiment. Parang maraming excited sa news, kaya baka tumaas yung price. Okay. Yep. Sabi ni Zaime. Yan. Obviously, yes, it's a good news. Okay. Sabi ni Maris, not just for FTSE, but for SquidPay Play catalyst, which is long-term. Okay. For Michael naman dito, lilipad pero hindi to the point na multi-ceiling. Hehe. Tamang uptrend lang. Okay. I see. Sige. Now, let me chime in, no, my opinion on this one. Okay. So, my take here is this, no. This is actually a trick question. Okay. Sorry this is a trick question dahil number one, wala talaga nakakaalam kung ano ang mangyayari sa presyo ng isang stock. Bukas, sa susunod na araw, next week, next year, next decade. Wala pong kasiguraduhan at walang makakapagsabi kung ano exactly ang pwedeng mangyari sa kanya. Now, here's the thing. The good news, so gagawin ko siya, the good and the bad. Okay? The good news, As I have mentioned kanina, the sentiment is positive. So, positive yung sentiment dito sa ganitong klase ng news dahil napasama si Pa doon sa FTSE. Diba? And as I mentioned dun kanina, ang importance nito or ang relevance nito is that foreign funds will now know who Premier Horizon Alliance is. So makikilala na siya kahit paano. And that can on its own have a merit no in terms of potential investment sa kanya, or hindi mo investment but potentially for the investors, especially the foreign ones, na bumili ng stock. Okay? Ito lang yung pinakita ko sa inyo kanina, 'di ba? Sabi ko we have two options. We have ETF at saka buying separately. Pag bumili sila ng ETF, walang nadadagdag kay Premier Horizon. Okay? Kasi again, ang ETF it's just trying to track the movement of the exchange of the index. Movement, trying to track. So tracking lang siya, nag-monitor lang siya. Hindi siya yung katulad ng ginagawa natin, actually bumibili tayo ng shares. So, okay, pag ETF, walang pumapasok na pera dito. Pero if they buy separately, yung gusto nila makahawak talaga ng actual dito sa Philippines, then yun yung only way na na pwedeng magpaangat ng presyo kay Pa. Okay? So that's the good. Now what's the bad? Okay. FTSE is comparing that to MSCI, hindi pa kasi ganun kakilala si FTSE dito sa atin. Mas kilala pa rin kasi ang MSCI. And because, if I'm not mistaken, isa kong nabasa, almost dito sa mga emerging markets like the Philippines, almost 10:1 ang ratio, no? In favor of MSCI. So, ganun kaliit lang ang FTSE dito sa atin. Or yung nagtatrack ng FTSE sa mga katulad ng emerging markets dito sa Asia. No? So, yun lang yung nakikita kong cons actually, no? But nevertheless, as I mentioned kanina, the sentiment of the market is still will continue to grow for this one as we go along or as we move towards March 19. No? Na eventually na mangyayari. So, we'll see, no? Tingin ko hindi na rin naman magbabago to, but if there is some drastic changes sa corporate structure or external factors, then it could change. Pero so far, at least sa mga inabutan ko, hindi pa ako nakita na nagtanggal sila after announcing it. So from the announcement up until the effectivity date, which is March 19. Okay? So, ayan. Next, may mga nagtanong dito kanina, teka lang, try kong balikan na kasi nag-skip ako sa kanila. Teka ha. Saan na yung mga yun? Okay. Ito nasagot ko na. Ito tapos na din. Ito natapos ko na din. Ito, okay. Ito, sabi Marlene, nung kay ACE na changes from micro to mid, parang walang naging impact sa price or di lang na news. Hindi lang siya na news ng husto. But, I think may impact din siya, no? Kasi malaking bagay yon from micro going to mid. No? Yun nga lang, again, as I've mentioned, ito yung tinutukoy ko kanina na dun sa isa sa dun sa cons ko, no, na hindi masyadong pinapansin si FTSE dito sa emerging markets sa Philippines, no. So ayun, kahit na gumanda yung sentiment, ito kasi yung problema, merong mas magandang sentiment kay ASEAN aside sa sa FTSE. And I think yun yung kasagsagan ng sa SRO nila, di ba? So kaya yun. Okay. Sabi ni Rob, if meron mang gap up tomorrow dahil yun sa news disclosure deal ng pa, I think minimal lang effect ng inclusion sa FTSE dahil ang ASEAN na move from micro to mid ng dip yung stock. Yeah, actually, nabasa ko nga to, Rob, no, yung ano nila, yung yung news kanina. Yeah, actually mas gusto ko yung news na yung as opposed to this one. Nagkataon lang kasi na over the weekend ito yung napag-usapan or at least ito yung kumakalat sa social media na news. Pwede magtanong kasi nabanggit mo ang SquidPay, ano ang mas magandang platform, CoinsPay, SquidPay or PDAX? So far kasi ang nagamit ko palang CoinsPH. And so far wala na akong nagiging problema sa kanila. So CoinsPH ako. SquidPay, ongoing pa yata yung ano nila, di ba? Live na yung kanilang website pero still subject to ano pa yon, to review ng BSP ba? BSP yata. Yan. PDAX naman is live na itong mga to and recently nagkaroon sila ng issue dahil doon sa hindi kinaya ng system nila yung number of transaction dahil sa crypto. Bakit kasama pa rin si Lopez? Last I heard is for delisting na siya. Hindi na natuloy ang delisting kay Lopez. Hindi na natuloy. May nai-evict din ba sa FTSE na parang pag-evict sa PSE? Yes, meron. Yun nga, yung tatlo, no? Yung Vita, CPM, at saka ano yung isa? Nakalimutan ko. Yan. CPM, Vita, Alco. Okay. Ayan. Okay. So sige, hanggang doon na lang muna at least yung dun, itong part nung sa FTSE, no? I hope malinaw na siya sa inyo. And dun sa mga hindi pa, let me know. Message nyo na lang ako separately and I'll try to explain them. Okay. Now, merong isang ano dito. Try ko lang sagutin, no? Kasi nabasa ko rin ito. Latest big news, no? Which is nakapasad na sila doon sa technical audit. Okay. So, again, this is just my opinion. This is just my thought around that, no? I would like to correct itong part na to. This is actually not a big news anymore. We already know na dito will pass it. No, kasi as early as December nagbigay na sila ng mga numbers and the numbers are already pasado na sila. No? Siguro let me try to backtrack a bit. Remember last year, so the initial technical audit was supposed to be March something. March ba June? No? And unfortunately, doon sa technical audit na yun, hindi sila nakapasa. So part ng kanilang condition or part ng kanilang agreement with DOT or DICT ba? Yeah, DICT yata. Is that meron silang tatlong extension, no? Kung halimbawa may hindi sila ma-meet na mga audits or targets, they are allowed to have 3 extensions. So nagamit nila 'yon. Yun yung first one, no? And because of that, eto na. Yung second review ng kanilang first audit nangyari na ulit and nakapasa na sila. So, in my opinion, this is not a big news. Kasi, number one, we already know na it will happen. And number two, we already know na they are passing. Diba? So, parang ganito siya. Sa school, no? Bumagsak ka sa una, tapos binigyan ka ng special project ng prof mo, tapos sabi sa'yo, o kailangan maipasa mo to by end of the semester. Midterm pa lang tapos na yung project. Tapos naipasa mo, tapos nung at the end of the sem, pumasa ka. So parang for me, it's not anymore a big news. They just confirm na pumasa ka. Okay? So yun, that's my take on it. Now, some people, especially doon sa mga diehards, no? Ito lang yung masasabi ko about doon. Sure, there are a lot of news happening around dito or any other stock na paborito natin or paborito ninyo or paborito ng lahat. But let's hold our horses first and try to analyze what is really happening. Kasi baka naman it's not as great as it seems. 'Di ba? So, katulad nito, yung pinag-usapan natin kanina, yung sa PA. Marami nag-hype, hindi naman sige, ganito, ayoko sabihin na hype. Marami nagpo-post sa Facebook noong weekends na si PA pasok na sa FTSE, ganyan. That's true, it's a good market sentiment. However, if you try to analyze it better, thoroughly, you would understand na actually it's a good news, yes, but the impact medyo questionable na maging big news siya. Okay? So, in here, ako, pasensya na kung sometimes I downplay some news. But ako kasi iniisip ko ano yung potential impact. Is this really newsworthy na pwedeng maging valid reason kung bakit lilipad yung isang stock? Maybe for some, yes, on a short term dahil sa market sentiment. Pero alam mo yun lang, that's just my take on it. And I hope you try to think about all of these things first, no? Okay? So ayun, once again, this is just me stating my opinion on this matter. So take this with a grain of salt. Take this as part of the research only. Okay? So ayan. Now, let me go back again sa ating comment section kung meron pang mga specific na tanong. Anong magandang platform kay APL? Topic kahit ano actually. Kasi pare-parehas lang naman ng mga brokers eh. Don't worry about it. As long as may broker ka, that should work. Valid ba ang strategy na pagbili ng MBT then sell on or after X date? Yes. Marami gumagawa niyan, Harry. Just ingat lang dahil syempre minsan kapag at X date, minsan since marami rin yung ganyan mag-isip, then that means there's a good chance na by the time na makapagbenta ka, medyo nag-normalize na yung presyo. Yan. Ano pa ba? Sell on news, so parang ganun ang mangyayari. Well, tayor talaga. May pag-asa pa ba bumalik ang index natin sa 8K this year? Well, pag-asa, yes, definitely meron. How likely, that is something that I don't know. Pero ito lang a lot of brokers are actually optimistic, no, sa recovery ng market natin. But then again, we'll have to see how it will look like. Ayan. For Kamatis man, formality na lang disclosure kasi may sign off na officially ng auditor which is KPMG. Pero sana tumaas pa rin kasi may hawak ako. Yeah, definitely. Oo. No. Sana tumaas pa siya, no? Wala akong hawak na dito. I don't have any plans of buying dito anytime soon. Ever, I don't know. No? Pero yeah, I would hope na sana tumaas. Para at least kumita naman tayo. And don't worry ka, I have no ill plans of wishing na sana bumabagsak si dito kasi wala naman akong mapapala kung bumagsak si dito or umangat si dito eh. Kasi wala akong plano bumili, di ba? So, mas maganda kung tumaas na lang para at least I know marami yung excited about doon, di ba? At least mas marami yung magte-take profit, di ba? Or magpa-profit dahil doon. Yan. Same goes pa sa news na may signed deal si pa na 2.3 billion project. Yes, actually, mas gusto ko yung gantong news, no? Kasi this is something new actually. So, mas gusto kong isipin na ito yung pwedeng magpaangat ng presyo kay pa as opposed to FTSEs. Dito wala na yan, balik piso na yan bukas. Balik piso bukas imposible kasi meron tayong dynamic threshold. So, 30%. Zaimi, may news ba kay nickel? Ano lang, yung global market, nickel futures is all-time high. Yun yung nagpaangat ng presyo ng mga nickel stocks like nickel, FNI, ano pa ba? Si Mark Ventures, ayan. So in short, most likely there is a good chance sell on news. So ito sometimes I do think na ganon, no, na magkakaroon ng sell on news. But let's also take into consideration that there are a lot of traders na sumusuporta kay dito, no? So kahit na magkaroon ng sell on news, I think it will just be parang short term. The supporters can still push the price of dito up. No, that's my opinion. Okay. So dialed in technical audit ng price dito. How about its commercial launch? Okay. Again, we already know that na merong commercial launch by March. We know that as early as June, July last year. So alam na natin na meron yon. Okay? That's why hindi ko na siya nakikita as a big news. Sentiment, yes. Yun nga lang kasi ito lang parang ganito lang. Babalikan ko yung ano ko kanina, yung example ko kanina. Alam mo na by the end of semester papasa ka sa subject mo. And then eventually pumasa ka. Or siguro ngayon, let's say you now have 1 or 2 more weeks bago magsara ang semester. So the question is, good sentiment pa rin ba yun? So, ayun na lang. I'll just leave it up to you. No? Yun lang iniisip ko, no? How big of an impact will that make? Kung halimbawang alam na natin na mangyayari siya. Don Oyo, Team Piso ka ata hindi naman. Ayun na naman ang FTSE lol, walang kadradala hype. Last FTSE, anong nangyari? Anong pinagsasabi nito? Easy lang. Sir, notice me, question lang regarding PSE Easy. Pwede ba mag-deposit through online banking or through teller lang? For PSE Easy, online banking. Pwede. Actually, nagawa ko na siya. Saan ko ba siya nagawa? Sa Fruit. Tama ba? Sa Fruit. Okay. So, ayun. Fruit, yeah. Online banking kasi walang, nun. Tama ba? Fruit ba yun? O yung isa. Nakalimutan ko. Basta, yeah, I've done it. I've done the online at saka over the counter. I've done both. Parehas. Pwede naman. I agree. I'm more excited about the 2.3 billion project relative to its 7 billion cap. Yep. For me, that would make sense. Sabi ni Jim, can you see JP Morgan, Credit Suisse, or CLSA sa microcap na yan? Lol. Hindi ko na gets. For Romeo, anong take mo kay MBT? MBT yun, maganda yung ano niya ngayon, yung kanyang dividend. No? Hindi ko alam kung kailan. Kailan ba ex-date? Tapos na ba? Hindi pa. Nakasalalay sa result ng tech audit ang franchise renewal ni Dito sa Senado. May part, but I don't think so. Hindi siya yung tipong make or break for Dito actually. Sa franchise renewal, which is, kailan pa ba? 2020. Alam ko, at least couple of years pa yun eh. at least couple of years pa bago ma-expire yung franchise ni ISM. Kay ISM pa yun hindi pa kay dito. Pero ano naman yun kumbaga mata-turnover ba tawag doon? Na-carry over naman niya. So, okay lang yun. Ayun, tapos na to. Kapag mag-company disclosure about sa billion share na need ng stock, sa tingin nyo po ba tataas or bababa yung price ng stock? Billion share na need ng stock? Lowell, can you clarify this one? Kasi hindi ko na-gets masyado yung tanong mo. No? Kung about billion share, bakit kailangan ng company ng billion share? Sorry Lowell, hindi ko na-gets yung tanong mo. Duterte rejected nationwide MGCQ until the vaccine rollout. Yeah, nabasa ko to. So, this will give a negative, negative sentiment naman. No? Kasi a lot of actually mga small companies would expect na mag MGCQ na so that they can reopen. Pero yeah, ganun talaga. Charlene, curious lang sa mga pasok sa criteria nyo to buy one stock kung hindi pasok sa inyo dito. Yeah, na-mention ko na ito before. Yeah, hindi siya pasok sa akin. My personal, kasi nga, one of the things that I'm looking for is yung fundamentals. No? And for me, wala pang masyadong fundamental dito Yan. Kindly elaborate further po commercial launch ni dito, meaning ba ay operational na ba siya? Pwede na mag-subscribe? Commercial launch is ito na yung start ng mag-o-offer na sila tong market. So basically, mag-start na sila na kumuha ng mga customers, open nyo yung mga outlets nila to kung halimbawa gusto mo mag-apply for a line, something, ganon. Yun. That's commercial launch. And at least in the last disclosure, or news na nabasa ko is they are already preparing na So yeah, I think kahit ano mangyari dun sa technical audit, which is tapos na rin naman na and pasado na sila. So okay na yun. Just like APL, nag-move na yung price before yung operation. So most likely wala nang effect yung mga news na darating. Yeah, possible din, especially kung natunugan na ito ng iba. No? Ano pong mas okay? Equity mutual fund o kaya FM ETF? Totoo ba na mas liquid ang FM ETF kaysa mutual fund? Yung last question mo, Mike, yes, that's correct. Mas liquid ang FM ETF kaysa sa mutual fund. Dahil sa mutual fund kasi meron pa yung na-execute lang kasi ang trade sa mutual fund at end of day. Tapos meron pa yung clearing. So, it would take time. No? As opposed to FM ETF, you can have it intraday pa nga Luis from GMA News, Laguna, okay. Local government against dito telecommunity, dito violated section 301 of National Building Code. Bakit? Ito na nga, ito yung pinagtataka ko sa mga ganyan. Kasi before a company or a telco can open up like mga satellite offices or satellites nila, kailangan nila ng mga iba't ibang klase ng permits. So, let's say for example na nakuha na nila yung permit na yon, then dapat wala nang problema unless they really violated it. Diba? So, ayun, maybe if I have more information around that, pero yun lang ang tinitingnan ko dyan na part. Ayan. Next, baka may impact din to o maapektuhan ng iba na may share ng hawak kay Globe at PLDT, sir. At mag-share sila kay dito, lalo na yung mga hindi diehard sa Globe at PLDT. Ito lang wala akong Globe, wala akong PLDT. No? Pero let's say if I have one, I don't think lilipat ako kay dito. Yung tipong ganito let me clarify that. uh, parang ang ibig sabihin is hindi ko pagpapalit yung Globe shares ko sa Dito shares. What I will most likely do is I already have my Globe PLDT shares, and then yung kung may extra money ako, I'll buy Dito shares. So that means I'll have PLDT, Globe, and Dito. Parang for me that's more logical. Parang hindi siya hindi siya Globe or PLDT or Dito. It can be Globe, PLDT, and Dito. Diba? Yun lang. May naninira just to make the price go down. Yun lang. Pwede. Yeah. Possible yun. Yan. Okay. So, it's already 9:03. Now, let's, ito na, para mas masaya, let's go ahead and post your stock request below. Tapos, yun yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Okay? So, while waiting for that, ayan. So, syempre, as I always say, di ba? Everything that we talk about here are for research purposes only. So, kayo pa rin yung pipindot ng buy or sell button. Please think before you click. Okay? And, syempre, saan ba yun? Yan. If you think that this session is helpful, please follow our social media accounts, especially sa YouTube where we post yung mga timestamp ng bawat topic, questions, and stock codes na mapag-uusapan natin today. Popost ko yung link sa comment section below. Share the stream na rin para mas marami tayong matulungan. When you subscribe and share the stream, this helps us continue to deliver the videos and content for free. Ayan. Okay. So now, let me go back up. Yan. Para mas malinaw din tayong lahat, no? I-show ko na lang din to, yung part na to, sa baba, no? Ayan. Parang, small reminders sa ating lahat, no? Na this is not a recommendation, but for research purposes only. Ayan. Okay. So, let's start. Asa na ba ako? Ako sa... Okay. So, sabi ni Christian, tsaka MRC. Ayan. For okay. Ang range ko kay is 580 hanggang 814. So, unfortunately, nakakita tayo ng a series of red candles dito, no? And, nabasag na niya yung 7 pesos na cut loss point ko. Okay? So, if I have I'll consider partial selling. Inom lang muna ako, mabilis lang. Teka. Ayan. So, I'll consider partial selling na kay Okay? Now, hindi naman siguro secret na rin sa inyo to, but I have Okay? Pero ako, hindi pa ako nag-sell. Why? Dahil sobrang baba ng aking average. Okay? In fact, my average is nasa 1.8. So, kaya kahit umabot pa to ng 4 pesos, okay pa ako. No? Now, why do I set this cut losses? Ito ay para doon sa mga nakabili above 580. So, kung nandito yung average price, then you can take this cut loss as a point of reference. Again, pero kung halimbawa malalim yung nyo, then that means you have a better cut loss point. No? So, ayan. Next, MRC. For MRC naman, ito, ang range ko is between 52.75 hanggang 75.03. Okay? And kanina, we have seen na after nagkaroon ng konting pullback, nag-bounce na siya pataas ulit. No? Pumatong siya above 52.75, which is good. Okay? This is now holding a good level, no, dito sa 52.75 na support level. Okay? So, if I have MRC, I'll hold. I'll still set my cut loss at 52.75, pero I think, and I hope, no, na magtuloy-tuloy na siya dito, na mag-hold. Kung wala naman akong hawak na MRC, I think it is within my buying area na. From 52.75 hanggang 5600. And then, target ko for both is 75.03. Okay? Next. GMA. So, GMA, After niya mag-breakout, diba? Uy, ayun, nice. Nagtuloy-tuloy lang din siya. That's good. So, for GMA7, ang range ko is between 7.10 hanggang 8 pesos. And kanina, nung Friday, nag-breakout siya. And then kanina, nag-continue yung breakout. No? So, if I have GMA7, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss at 7.10. Kung wala naman, I'll wait for the pullback. So, maghihintay ako ng red candle. Kasi, usually, sa akin, ang pinaka-rule ko is that I buy at the red candle, I sell at the green candle. Okay? So, ayun. It's not a hard rule, no? Pero as much as possible, I try to use that as a reference. Okay? Next, SEC. Yan. For SEC naman, ang range ko which is nabasag na. Nabasag na yung yung 1274. So, for SEC, dahil nabasag na siya, no, ang range ko ngayon ay 1133 hanggang 1275 na. Okay? So, if I have SEC, I look for opportunity to sell kahit partial. Okay? Especially, no, kung halimbawa magtuloy-tuloy ito at hindi siya makalampas dun sa 1275. Okay? Now, kung wala naman akong hawak na SEC, then I'll wait. Hintayin ko siya na umabot ng 1133. 1133 or 1150 na area or na range. Saka ko magiging interesado na pumasok. Okay? Next, for Trunky. Ba't Trunky ang isusulat ko rito? Sorry naman. PHR. Ayan. So, kay PHR naman, ang range ko is between 2 pesos hanggang 276. No? So, again, ito yung sinabi ko nung nakaraan. No? I'll try to look for an opportunity to sell dahil nabasag na yung support ko at 38.2 level. Okay? So, if I have a PHR right now, same pa din, I'll look for opportunity to sell. Kaya kung gustong-gusto ko talaga siya, then I can always go back naman. Pero hihintayin ko na either bumalik siya from 2 pesos or I'll wait na umabot siya above 38.2. So, I'll wait for mga 2 to 3 candles above 38.2 para lang ma-confirm ko na mag-hold yung support na yon. Okay? Next, load. Lode. Ayan. For load naman, ito, bumalik na siya, no? Medyo nagkaroon ng pullback, which is good. Pero kanina, up siya 2.45% and nag-hold siya above 1.65. Okay? So, if I have load, I'll hold. I'll set, again, my cut loss, same thing sa 165. Kung wala naman akong hawak na load, I'll wait for one more candle. 1 to 2 more candles, no? And yung candle na yon must be above 1.65. Saka ako bibili. Okay? Ayan. Next. May comment dito si Sutermill. What I'm noticing is shift from other growth stocks such as ASIN and MM to D2 and PA because of the recent news. Actually, yeah. Ito kasi nangyayari ngayon, no? Ito, napapansin ko lang, no? Because of the strength ng social media, sobrang dali magpaikot ng news. Yung news could be a legitimate news or it could be a fake news, regardless. No? And on any of those kind of news, it will definitely affect yung mindset and sentiment ng market. So before, marami ang lumalabas na news about ASIN at saka MM. That's why umaangat sila. But now, it's shifting Kasi ganun may kanya-kanyang followings yan Depende kung saan mas successful. No? So, ayun. For Ramel naman, PX. Yan. So, Felix Mining, no? Ayun, na-break na niya yung 502 level. Nag-hold sa MA50 line, tapos na-break yung 502 level, which is good. So, if I have PX, I'll hold. Okay? But I'll still set my cut loss at 502 or 5 pesos. Kung wala naman, kung wala akong hawak na PX, I'll wait. Hintayin ko yung pullback. No? Pullback and okay, maganda naman kasi yung volume niya. So, I'll wait for the pullback or much better, another one, confirmation. Confirmation candle na itong 502 is nag-hold na. And then target ko is 582. Okay. Reg. Napapansin ko to actually nung Friday pa, pero I have no clue kung bakit siya lumilipad. I mean, kung bakit siya nagkakaroon ng ganitong rally. No? And if we can check here, the value is just around 6 million. Malaki na yun for this type of stock. No? So this tells me na this stock is a low volume stock. No? And to be honest, hindi ko pa alam kung bakit siya lumilipad. Napansin ko lang na lumipad siya. No? Is this an all-time? No. Hindi pa siya all-time. Is it even 52-week high? Hindi rin. Okay. So for reg, since hindi rin siya pasok dun sa mga criteria na hinahanap ko, I can just simply say na the next potential resistance here is 5 pesos. Okay? But then this could be nothing. Again So ingat sa mga ganitong klase ng stock dahil unless you know what really happened, if merong fundamental catalyst, then okay lang. Pero as of now, ako, in my end, wala pa akong alam. So that's why I'll remain vigilant and careful pagdating sa ganito. Okay, next, MG. For MG naman, ito. Ang range ko is between 3850 or 3856 hanggang 5600. And right now, the stock is above, nasa 4100 na. So if I have MG, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss 3850. Target 5608. Kung wala naman, within the buying range ko pa rin naman siya. So as long as mag-hold at 3850, then it should be good to go. Or it should be okay na rin. No? However, again, pabalik ako dun sa sinabi ko kanina na for MG, wala akong alam na news dito. So, ingat pa din. Okay? Next, pa. O nga naman, hindi naman natin na-check si pa kanina. Okay? So, on the technical, alam nyo na kung ano nangyari, di ba? Alam nyo na yung catalyst sa kanya. So, I'll skip that part. But on the technical side, ito. So, pa is coming from a double top pattern. No? And as we know, double top patterns are reversal, no? Which means from an uptrend before, it could lead to a downtrend. Okay. Now, because of what's happened doon sa mga news, remember, catalyst trumps technical. Ibig sabihin, kahit gaano pa ka-obvious yung trend ng isang stock on a technical standpoint, kung merong magandang lalabas na news, then baliwala yung technicals. The news will supersede. Okay? And yun yung nakikita ko why it flew kanina. No? It closed at 897. Okay? It would be interesting to see kung ano ang gagawin ng stock na to dito sa 320 na level, which is a known resistance para sa kanya. Okay? So if I have pa, I'll monitor this one. Maganda kung mabe-break niya yon, that's better. No? Pero in case na nagbigay siya ng red candle, ako, if may hawak akong pa, I'll prepare for a potential take profit, kahit partial. Okay? So, ayan. Although, yun nga, may nagsabi din kanina dito, no, this is a potential cup and handle. Well, yeah, it does. It is. So, we'll see na lang. But regardless naman kasi, even if ano pa yung pattern na yon, yung resistance yung nagmamatter. And the resistance still remains at 320. No? So, yun yung mas critical na level. Okay. Next, MM tapos na MEC. Hindi ko alam si MEC. Tingin ko MRC yan. Hinulaan ko na lang, no? Ayan. Tapos saan pa ito si MRC? Ayan. For Rick naman, Ani. Si Ani na nasa support level, di ba? Nag-ano na ba siya? Hindi pa. Okay. So, for Ani, okay. So, medyo malapit na siya dito sa, actually, this is my cut loss point lang, no? However, dahil sa sobrang laki netong, ano to, 595 hanggang 875, I would even consider 7 pesos as a support na at this time. Okay. So, for Ani, may lumalabas na mga news din dito, yung partnership nila with, ano yun? Anong company yun? Nakalimutan ko. Basta meron silang partnership doon sa isang company na may partnership din with Union Pay. And Ani is, or Agri Nurture is now looking at kung paano nila ma-explore yung option na yon. Okay? So, ayun, again, on the news side, may news itong nangyari kay Ani. However, yun lang talaga, no? Actually, it's not the first time na news. Nakita ko na yung another news similar to that, siguro within the week then, and even as early as late last week. No? However, kung mapapansin natin on the technical side, yung mga candles niya, halos hindi gumagalaw eh. Nagko-consolidate lang dito sa area na to. So, this tells me na yung mga traders, hindi kinakagat yung news na yon ni Ani. No? So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Kasi medyo ano pa rin yung trend ni Ani eh. As you can see here, this is still on a downtrend. No? Ayan. Next, FNI. For FNI naman, ito. Nag-break na ba? O na-breakout na ba? Teka ha. Let me double check. Ay, hindi pa. 350. Okay. So for FNI, if I have FNI, again ang nag-push dito is yung presyo sa global market ng nickel futures. Okay? So, given na nag-all-time high yung futures kanina, and I think magtutuloy-tuloy pa rin, actually, year-to-date ng nickel is very high. No? So, nickel futures, yung na commodity, yun yung tinutukoy ko, hindi yung nickel na stock. Okay? That's why nakita tayo ng magandang movement dun sa mga nickel producing companies or mga nickel stocks na tinatawag. Okay? So, for FNI, if I have one, I'll hold. And then, I'll monitor, no? Kasi medyo malapit na siya dun sa 348. Kung wala naman ako hawak na FNI, I'll hold. Kung wala akong hawak na FNI, I'll wait. Hintayin ko siya either bumaba ng konti, around this level, 232 hanggang 250, or I'll wait na lang sa breakout. So, I'll wait for the pullback ng breakout and then doon ako pwedeng pumasok. Okay. Next, DFNN. For DFNN, ayun, no, nabasag na naman yung point, yung 61.8 level ng FIBO. Okay. So, if I have DFNN, medyo tricky siya, no? Kasi yung area na to, doon siya nagkakaroon ng ilang beses niyang binasag, umangat. So, very volatile siya dito sa area. Siguro for this one, I'll take na lang this. Ayan. I'll take itong rectangle na to. And I'll wait for for some signal from this. So, ibig sabihin, if mabasag pataas, then that means I'll take that as a bounce. Pataas. Pero pag ito nabasag pababa, then I'll take that as, basag na yung support, ay yung resistance. Tama ba? Sorry. Basag na yung support, naging resistance na siya. And now, I'll prepare for another range. No? And that other range could be 420 hanggang 5 pesos. Okay? Next, VUL. For Vulcan naman, okay. Ito, no? Ito yung sinasabi ko na pullback. Tapos, itong malaking pullback candle na to, nagkaroon na rin ng confirmation the next day. So, ito yung confirmation candle. Okay? So, if I have Vulcan, I'll hold. Pero I'll set my cut loss at 280. Okay? Kung wala naman, is 320 still a good price? I can check that if I'll measure yung 320 up until its resistance na 396. So this is still about 23%. So this tells me na with that kind of upside, kasi ang minimum ko is 15% eh. So with this type of upside, I'd say na okay pa rin siya within the buying area. No? 280 hanggang 320. Okay. Next, MPI. For MPI naman, nabasag na naman yung ano. Same siya, no? Saan ko kinuha to? Doon. Okay. Although valid itong support na to, yun nga lang kasi, in the past several months, parang pinaglalaroan lang niya tong support line eh. No? Ibig sabihin pinaglalaroan, kung mapapansin natin, no, ilang beses siyang binasag, nauntog, nabasag, nag-rally hanggang sa nahulog na naman. So hindi binibigyan ng importansya niya yung support level. Now, kapag ganito yung nangyayari, yun, gagawin ko ulit yung ginawa ko kanina. No? I'll try to create etong line na to, which will be my my new box. This is not Darvas box, guys. No, hindi yon. Ibang play sa Darvas box. No, this is just merely me trying to find a valid support and resistance para dito sa stock na to. Okay? So, if I have MPI, I'll hold. So, ibig sabihin itong box na to, I'll hold until merong mabasag dyan. Either mabasag sa taas or mabasag sa baba. Okay? But until such time, mag-hold muna ako dito sa part na to. Okay? So, ayan. Next, AGI. For AGI naman, ang range ko is between 964 hanggang 1217. So, with AGI, ang ganda ng rally niya nung nakaraan, no? Yun nga lang, nahulog siya ulit. Or at least, medyo nagkakaroon na ng pullback dito sa area na to. So, if I have AGI, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss at 10 pesos. Kung wala naman akong hawak na AGI, I'll wait. Hintayin ko siya sa around 960 hanggang 10 pesos na level. Tapos, target ko will be 1217. Okay? So, ayan. Next, ASIN. For ASIN naman, ito, range ko is still between 520 hanggang 942. And right now, nagkakaroon ng mini consolidation dito sa area ng 760 hanggang 8 pesos. Okay? Actually, I can also consider this as a pennant, no? Yan. So, we'll be waiting kung anong gagawin niya rito. If mababreakout ba niya sa taas or mahuhulog pa baba. Okay? So, if I have ASIN, I'll hold. My cut loss is still at around 7 pesos. Kung wala naman akong hawak na ASIN, I'll wait between 520 hanggang 6 pesos. Doon ako pwedeng pumasok. Okay? Next. Tapos na BSC. Ayan. For BSC naman, ito. Ang range ko is between 1 hanggang 9 pesos. And, yun nga, no? After a successful bounce dito noong 2 weeks ago, si BSC, nakita natin na nagbibigay na siya sa atin ng higher lows. Higher lows meaning ito. Yung low end ng candle, it's going up. Excuse me. So that's what I mean by higher lows. Okay, which is a good sign, no? This is a mini uptrend for BSC. Ang gusto ko lang makita is magtuloy-tuloy. So for BSC, if I have one, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss at 115 or even 110. While kung wala naman ako hawak na BSC, okay pa ba in terms of upside? Yun kasi yung major ko eh. Okay pa. Yeah. Upside-wise, yeah, okay pa naman siya. Okay? So, between 1 hanggang hanggang 130 I think okay pa as buying area, no. Pero just trying to be conservative, 1 hanggang 120. That would be, for me, that would be ideal. As long as syempre yung 1 peso would hold. Next, SSP. Tapos na si DFNN kanina. So, SSP tayo. Okay. Range is between 145 hanggang 180. Kanina, nag-close siya at 154. So, medyo mataas na siya doon sa part na yon. Pero I think in terms of upside, okay pa rin siya. Ay, sakto na lang pala. Almost 16. Yeah, 16%. Okay. So, for SSP, if I have SSP, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss at 145. Kung wala naman, I'll wait sa 145 hanggang 150. Doon ako papasok. Okay. Next, Apollo. Apollo. Ano nangyari sa kanya kanina? Ayan. Okay. Yun na nga, untog. Untog siya dun sa 2907. Okay. So, if I have Apollo, no, ang gagawin ko sa kanya, I'll wait for an opportunity to sell. Kasi again, this is not a support. This is a cut loss. No? So, with this kind of range, if matutuloy yung range na yon, potentially, Apollo might reach 0.2 again. No? Again, on that particular range lang. Kaya ako nasabi na I'll look for an opportunity to sell. Okay? Now, kung wala naman ako hawak na Apollo, I'll wait. Yun nga, hintayin ko siya sa 0.2 or hintayin ko siya na ma-break itong 2907. Move ko siya ng konti. Ayan. 29 or 30 pala, no? 0.3. Ayan, around that level. Okay? So, ayan. That's my take on APL. Next, IMI tsaka green. Sige. For IMI naman, ito. Yun lang. Bumalik na siya doon sa loob agad. Ang bilis naman nun. 2 candle lang. Tapos, let me double check. Oo sayang naman. Okay. Anyways, ganito ang gagawin ko sa kanya. If may hawak akong IMI at hindi ako nakapagbenta kanina, I'll wait ng isa pang candle. If that candle hindi siya umangat above 1395, I would partially sell. Okay? Now, kung may hawak naman, pag wala naman akong hawak na IMI, I'll wait. Hintayin ko siya around 11:15 na area. Or, hintayin ko siya na magkaroon siguro mga 2 pang candle na parehas above 1395. Just to make sure na nag-hold na ng mas matibay itong ngayon ay resistance na niya. Okay? Next, green. So, kay green naman, ito, di ba? After a multi-year na highs niya, nung Friday, umabot siya ng magkano to? 445. Until na mag-close siya ng 420 nung Friday. And kanina, up naman siya. From 420 kahapon, nung Friday, naging 426 na siya. So, that means, itong level na to, itong cut loss lang naman tong area na to ng 4 pesos, di ba? Pero still, we have seen na doon siya nag-bounce pataas. So, this could be a rather simple support para kay green. Okay? So, if I have green, I'll hold. 4 pesos pa rin ang aking cut loss area. And wala pa akong resistance. Sobrang layo na kasi yung isang resistance So, I would consider this as an all-time high play na for me. No? So, mag-aantay ako ng maganda-gandang siguro I'll wait for mga 3 to 5 more na candles. Pag yun, umabot ako ng hanggang 5 at hindi ko pa nakikitang nag-break itong 445, then I would consider 445 as my new resistance. Sa ngayon kasi hindi ko pa siya magawa dahil technically, unang candle pa lang after that, after that retraction, anong nangyari, di ba? So, ayan. Ngayon, kung wala naman akong hawak na green, I'll wait. Hihintayin ko to sa 350. 350 hanggang 375. Or 370 pala. Doon ako maghihintay. That is in preparation in case na maging ang resistance na maging that is a preparation in case na maging ang resistance ko ay 445. Okay, so yan. Next, ASEN. Tapos sa ASEN. TBGI. Yan. TBGI. Okay. Yan. Yan, okay. So, TBGI. Ayan. For TBGI naman, ito, nagkaroon ng semi-double top na rin siyang nangyari. Sa double top kasi, ang hinihintay ko dyan or ang kinoconsider ko dyan is yung mga bottoms. No? Para at least ma-identify ko kung saan siya pwedeng umabot as the support. And ang nakita ko dito is etong part na to. At 31 actually. Nasa 31 level. Etong level na to. Okay. So, ang kailangan ko lang na makita dito talaga para at least masabi ko na medyo safer pa itong si TBGI is that etong 50 level, 0.5, mag-hold. No? Otherwise, pag nabasag pa yung 0.5, there's a good chance, may tendency siya na sundin niya itong double top. Which means, if it does, then the potential next support will be at around 32.50. Okay, so now having said that, if I have TBGI, I'll hold at this time. However, aabangan ko to yung 0.5. Pag to nabasag, then matik, I'll have to cut it. Okay, now kung hindi, then syempre hold na agad yun. Okay. Para naman doon sa mga hindi, kunwari wala akong hawak na TBGI pero gusto kong bumili, then I'll wait. Hintayin ko kung anong gagawin niya rin sa 0.5 na to. And then, after that, 0.4. 0.41 actually. No. And then, magiging area ko where I will be buying up or buying is between 32.50 hanggang 0.4. Medyo malaki yon pero still, no. Considering na ang aking target is 0.6395, that's a lot better. Next, BDO. Yan. For the banks, no, yung fist, which is good, which is a good mechanism para sa mga financial institution na makabawi-bawi in terms of their books. So, kay BDO, ang range ko is between 97, actually it's 85 hanggang 114. Pero etong 97 na to, this is my cut loss area. No? Since umangat ang BDO nung nakaraan, then that means I'll have to adjust. Okay? Actually, lang to 1, 2, 3. Tatlong beses na niyang inattempt na lumapit sa 114 pero nare-reject agad siya. So, that means malakas talaga to 114 na to in terms of resistance. If I have BDO, at this time, I'll hold. Pero I'll set my cut loss at 104. Okay? 104. Ngayon, kung wala naman akong hawak na BDO, mag-aabang pa lang ako, I'll wait. Hintayin ko siya at around 100 pesos. No. Yun nga lang, ang dilemma ko lang sa 100 pesos is that yung aking upside, medyo maliit lang. 100 hanggang 114 is just around 14%. So if kaya pa niya bumaba more than 100 or less than 100 pesos, that would be ideal for me. No? Abangan ko siya as low as 90 pesos. Okay? Next. MRC at saka SEB. MRC, di ba tapos yung MRC? Tapos na. Tsaka BSC tapos na rin, di ba? So, SEB lang. Okay. Course, ayun naman. Ano ba naman yan? Although kahit na red siya kanina, nasa 47.10 ang aking support, no? At 38.2 level. Nainis kasi ako dahil akala ko magtutuloy-tuloy na tong si Seb after niya mag-bounce up dito, no? Nung nakakikita ako ng mga red candles dito, sabi ko okay lang yun, at least profit taking, healthy yon. Yun nga lang, for some odd reason, nangyari to. Medyo masakit sa bangs. Although wala naman ako hawak na Seb, it's just that syempre, on the technical side, I was hoping talaga na na rebound na siya. Pero wala eh. I think may kinalaman nito dun sa MJCQ. Kasi if we remember, di ba, tourism ang heavily impacted ng COVID. No? An MGCQ, I think, will give a good sentiment dito sa SEB. Hindi nangyari. Or at least, tinums down ni Duterte. So, eto nangyari. Ayan. So, for SEB, if I have SEB, at this time, kasi nasa negative na agad ang kanyang sentiment eh. No? Although, here's another contrasting idea. No? Negative na rin naman yung kanyang sentiment, pero ang tanong is, may ini-negative pa ba siya apart from that? And yung pangalawang sentiment, yung pangalawang question na yon is supported by the technicals. Kasi, if we can see here, halos yun na yung doon na siya nagbo-bottom out eh. At least on this range ha, from 41 hanggang, 57. Doon na siya nagbo-bottom out. Okay? So siguro, for me, as part of my adjustment, ang gagawin ko na lang sa kanya is kung wala akong hawak na SEB, no? Or kung may hawak akong SEB, ito yung gagamitin kong cut loss area. 45.80 or 45.50. Pag yun nabasag pa din, yun na yun. That will be my sell. Okay? Now, my ideal situation here for SEB is makabalik siya above 47 pesos. 47, actually 47. Okay, above pa rin naman siya. So, that's good. Mag-hold na lang sana siya doon sa part na yun. Okay? So, ayan. Tapos na MRC, load, BSC tapos na, di ba? MRC alam ko kasi tapos na eh. BSC, tapos na rin to. CPG, SSI. CPG. Okay. CPG na nahulog na rin, no? From 41, nahulog na siya to 40.50 kanina. If may hawak akong CPG, I'll monitor this one, no? At kung hindi pa ako nagbebenta ha, I'll monitor this one. If magkaroon siya ng another red candle tomorrow, candle which is below 0.41, I would consider partial selling. No, kasi ang next ko na dyan na nakikita na support is at around 36.36. Okay? Now, kung may hawak naman akong, kung wala naman ako hawak na CPG, mag-aabang pa lang ako. I'll wait sa area ng, between, around 36.36. Yan. Next, SSI. For SSI naman, ito. Ang range ko is between 127 hanggang 150. If may hawak akong SSI, I'll hold. And then, I'll set my cut loss at 127. Kung wala naman, hintayin ko siya sa 127. Yung bounce niya dito, yun yung hihintayin ko sa kanya. Kasi nandoon na rin itong MA200 line eh. Sumasalok na rin siya dun sa part na yun. So that gives an additional conviction doon sa 61.8 level ng FIBO. Okay, next. Apple, tapos na Meg at saka Picor. Meg naman, ito. Ang range ko is between 340 hanggang 438. Medyo may kalakihan siya, no? That's why I have here itong cut loss level na 3.65. 3.65. Kung may hawak akong meg, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss, same pa rin, 365. Tapos kung wala naman, I'll wait. Hintayin ko siya, umabot siya ng mga around 340 hanggang 350 level, 340 hanggang 360 levels. Gano'n pa kalaki to kung 360? Okay na yun. So yeah, 340 hanggang 360, doon ako mag-aabang for a potential bounce. Okay? Next. Picor. Ayan. Ito si Picor nahulog din pala, no? Range ko sa kanya is between 345 hanggang 435. No? And kanina nga, nag-close lang siya at 362. So if I have Picor, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss at 362 kanina, di ba? 345 to 350 levels. Kung wala naman ako hawak na Picor, yung hihintayin ko is between 345 hanggang 360 na level. Doon ako pwedeng pumasok, I'll wait for that bounce, and then doon ako pwedeng pumasok sa kanya. Okay, next. MBT dividend. Ay nga, yung sinabi ko kanina, no? For MBT, umangat na ba ulit si MBT after nung announcement? Okay. Kay MBT kasi, ito na yung resistance, no? 5185. And actually, kanina umabot na siya doon and then rejected. So on technical perspective, untog na siya dito sa area na to. I'll just have to wait for maybe one more candle to really confirm that, no? And or 1 to 2 candles to confirm that. Okay. Now if I'm going for a dividend play, I think it's a good idea for me to buy MBT for dividend. Yun nga lang, syempre, as I've mentioned kanina, pagka mga ganun kasi, usually sa X date, doon nagkakaroon ng bentahan din kasi they already know na meron na silang dividend. Diba? So, ayan. Next, MG, Apollo, tapos na parehas, now. For now naman, ito, ang range ko is between 296 or actually 3 pesos hanggang 410. And kanina, it's already 308. So, for this one, if I have now, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss at 3 pesos. Kung wala naman, within the buying area pa rin siya. 3 hanggang 320 level. Yun yung buying area ko sa kanya. Tapos, for both, ang target ko is 410. Ayan. Okay. Next. After netong kay Zaime, I'll move to dun sa pinaka-latest, ha. Kasi right now, this is still 9:04 p.m. yung binabasa ko, guys. So, pasensya na, ha. Medyo marami kasi. And I try to add more value as opposed to just having technicals. So, ayun, pagpasensya nyo na kung medyo matagal talaga siya. Okay. Nickel. Si nickel kanina nag-breakout. Breakout niya itong 6 pesos. No. Again, ang catalyst nito is yung sa nickel futures, ha. The next tracking resistance will be at around 685. Okay? So if I have nickel, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss at 6 pesos. Target ko 684. So tingnan ko ulit kung anong gagawin niya rito. Kung wala naman akong hawak ng nickel, I'll wait. Hintayin ko yung pullback. Okay? So, doon ako, again sa pullback ako bibili. Okay? GMA7 tapos na eh. Ayan. After 684, ano pang next na ito? 9 pesos na. So, much better, no? Kung halimbawang ituloy niya to, i-break niya to, mas maganda sa paningin dahil 9 pesos na yung kasunod. Okay? So, ayan. Now, let me go back. Baba ako mag-check lang ako dito ng mga ilan-ilan. Sabi ni ABCDEF, ang haba naman ng pangalan mo. Paano yung dark mode? I'm using Chrome. So, look for dark reader. Extension yun sa Chrome. Yun. Pwede mo yung magamit. Next. Sige, LC, sabi ni Abs. Yan. For Lepanto, ito, no? Ang range ko sa kanya is between 1,365 hanggang 1,723. So ngayon, nasa 1620 na lang siya. Which means, mas malapit na siya doon sa 1723. Okay? And actually, ito yung nagustuhan ko kay LC, no? Ngayon ko lang napansin is that nagkakaroon siya ng higher lows. No? Which is a sign of an uptrend. Although masyado pang konti yung candles for me to really consider it as an uptrend. But at least, meron na siyang magandang development dito. Okay? So if I have LC, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss at around 1550. Now, kung wala naman akong hawak na LC, ang gagawin ko, I'll wait. Hintayin ko siya sa 1365 hanggang 14. Tapos, again, for both, ang target ko is 1723. Gano'ng kalaki to? Maliit lang ba? Malaki? Okay, not bad. Around 26%. Yep. Okay, so yan. Next, for Fresel, DD. DD naman, ang range ko is, hindi pa rin naman nagbabago, ganun pa rin. So, 1390 hanggang 1650. If I have DD, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss at 1480. Okay. Yun nga lang, no? Medyo nakakatakot lang tong MA200 kasi in the past 2 days, kinonfirm nilang ng dalawang candle na to na yung MA200 is a resistance for them. Okay, so ingat lang dito sa MA200. If I have DD, again, I'll wait. I'll hold pala, I mean. Set my cut loss at 1480. Kung wala naman, hintayin ko na siya sa baba. So either 1390 hanggang 1420. Doon ako mag-aabang. Okay, next. ABA. Ayan. For ABA naman, ito. Ang range ko sa kanya is between 109 hanggang 160 or 110 hanggang 160. And after that bounce nung Thursday, meron na siya, nag-develop na ulit siya ng uptrend, ng higher lows, I mean. Okay, which is a characteristic ng isang bounce. No? So for ABA, if I have one, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss at 110. Kung wala naman, gaano pa ba siya kalaki in terms of upside? Okay pa siya. So, maghihintay ako if wala akong hawak between 110 hanggang 120 level. Yun yung magiging buying area ko. Okay? So, gagawin doon is I'll wait for that bounce. Okay? Next. Converge. Yan. For Converge naman, ang range ko is between 1750 hanggang 20 pesos. So, kanina, 18 pesos siya. Palapit na siya ng palapit dun sa 750, no? 1750. Okay, anyways. So, if I have Converge, I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss at 1750. Kung wala naman, I'll wait. Actually, within the buying area na siya. At 18 pesos. Let me double check. Ay, hindi pa. Mukhang sagad to ah. Hindi pa nga eh. Okay. So, most likely, kung mag-aantay ako ng Converge, babalikan ko siya sa 1690. Yeah. Nandoon kasi yung next support eh. Save ko to. Yan. Okay. So, yan. That's for Converge. Next is Geo. Si Geo nag-close flat, no? This came after a good rally. Yun nga lang, itong 0.60 lang talaga yung humaharang sa kanya ng gusto. As you can see here, noong Feb 11, inattempt din niya itong 6.6, tapos na-reject. And then, nung Thursday naman, inattempt din niya, sumakto lang siya doon halos sa resistance na yun. And then, nung Friday, ayun nga, binigyan niya tayo ng isang engulfing candle. kinain niya yung previous na rally. And then kanina, ayun nga, nag-flat lang siya, nag-doji lang siya. So, if I have Geo, the good thing that I like about Geo talaga, na napansin ko ever since is that yung support niya maganda. Ito, 5M, 6M, 5, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1, 5M. Puro millions. Comparing it here, almost nasa thousands lang. No? So, I think yun yung yun yung nagpo-push kay Geo para umangat dito sa part na to. Okay? So, ayan. If I have Geo, I'll hold. My cut loss is still the same, 0.5. Kung wala naman, I'll wait to 0.5. Every time na nagkakaroon ng pullback dito, lumalapit sa 0.5, I think yun. Yun nga lang, ang magiging tendency lang nun is, hindi na siya intraday. No? So, if kaya ninyo yung non-intraday na trading, then pwede. Otherwise, wala. Intraday talaga. Okay? Next, TEL. Yan. For TEL na nabasag na tong yun lang. Okay. Sige. So, ang range ko is between 1262 hanggang 1475. Etong 1320 was my cut loss level. Yun nga lang, nabasag na siya kanina. So, kung hindi pa ako nakapagbenta kanina, then I'll wait for another candle by tomorrow. If that candle is still below 1320, I'll consider selling. Okay? Now, magiging buying area ko naman kung wala akong hawak is between 1262 hanggang 1280 level. Target ko is 1475. Okay. Next. Ano-ano mga sector na ano po ang mga sector na iiwasan dahil ni-reject yung MGCQ? Teka ha, ano ba yung mga maapektuhan? Definitely tourism. Sa tourism kasi nandyan ang SEB, PAL, MAC, M-Wide. Ayan, sila yung mga nasa airport na operations. Apart from tourism, halos yun lang eh. Kasi the rest naman, they are working as expected na rin naman sa ngayon eh. So, yun lang. Okay? But then again, there is this counter thought naman, no, na because ECQ pa rin tayo, most likely, nakita na natin yung bottom. Diba? So, yun naman yung counter thought nun. Nasa na lang kung alin yung i-allow mo. Okay? So, ayan. Next, for Cheska, OPM. For OPM, Oriental Petroleum, Cheska ito, no? Si OPM kasi, this is a low value stock. No? A low value stock, ito yung mga stock na nasa trading at around 5 million and below. Okay? Hindi siya official definition ha. It's just my own personal definition. Kaya, and yun yung nagiging basis ko whenever I try to think about if iti-trade ko ba siya or hindi. So, again, my personal take is that I don't trade or I don't want to trade 5 million and below na mga stocks. Especially kung wala akong nakikitang matino or valid na reason, catalyst, why ko siya kailangang i-trade. Okay? Just like this one. Ay, nung nagkaroon ng catalyst ito eh. Nakalimutan ko lang kung ano. Yun nga lang, ayun, yun yung nag-cause kung bakit tumipad itong OPM. However, kung mapapansin mo, binentahan din siya agad. Hindi nagtagal. No? So, pag ganito, I try to stay away na lang. Kasi I know there are still a lot of stocks now better in terms of fundamentals and technicals. Okay. Next. PHR tapos na. Reg tapos na din. MM tapos na. EMP. Okay. Sige. Ganito na lang, no? Last 3 na lang po tayo. Last 3. Kasi it's already 9:57. So, Emperador. Ayan. KM naman, ito. Range is between 980 hanggang 11 pesos. And ngayon, wala eh. Talagang natutulog pa siya dun sa area na yon. So, hayaan na lang natin siya. Huwag mo nang gisingin. Ang mahalaga is hindi siya nahuhulog below 980. Okay? Hindi siya nahuhulog below 980. So, if I have I'll hold. I'll set my cut loss sa 980. Tapos, kung wala naman akong hawak na I think within the buying area ko pa rin naman siya. Okay? So, ayun. Next. Sige, Arit. Namahinga na ba si Arit? Hindi pa. Hindi pa rin. Yun nga lang, finifill in lang niya itong mga weeks niya na to, no? Yung mga previous day weeks niya. Finifill in lang niya, no? Which is not bad at all. Okay din yun. Kasi at least kahit pa paano nasusustain yung pag-angat niya. Okay? Pero ito lang still si Arit is not a stock na I would expect na for trading purposes. This is for high dividend. No? So ito actually bonus na lang to na lumilipad itong si Arit sa ngayon. Okay. So with Arit dahil wala pa tong nag-all-time high siya eh. So that means walang resistance, which is good. No? So congrats sa mga may hawak ng Arit. Okay. Now, kung halimbawa, for me kasi, alam niyo naman, may hawak akong Arit, di ba? For me, I don't plan on selling Arit kahit bumalik pa yan ng 25 or even 20 pesos. Wala akong planong ibenta siya. Kasi again, ang target ko dito is, yung purpose ko dito is to get as many dividends as possible. And REITs are good candidate for that. Long-term, high dividend na stocks. Okay? Okay. Now, last but not the least, sige, I'll take on, ito yung kay Adrian, no? AR. Ayan. For AR naman ito, ang range ko is between 38 hanggang 80. Okay? Here's the thing. Lagi ko na rin naman siya sinasabi, but uulitin ko pa rin siya sa ngayon, no? Walang laman yung AR. Nung lumipad ito, na hindi ko alam, ibig sabihin ba hindi ko alam na walang laman is hindi ko kayang explain kung bakit siya lumilipad. Apart from may tumutulak sa kanya. Yun lang. But apart from that, wala na eh. So pag ganon, for me, logic dictates para sa akin na wag ko na siyang patulan. Okay? So, for AR, kung may hawak akong AR, no? I'll do the same thing. Since nasa above pa naman siya ng 0.38 level, then pwede ko siyang i-hold. However, my personal take here is I'll take if there's an opportunity for me to sell, I'll do that. Okay? Now, kung mag-aabang naman ako kay AR, my general advice or my general thought or opinion here is that there are a lot of stocks na mas better in terms of catalyst and technicals versus AR. So I'd rather put all my thoughts, efforts doon sa mga stocks na yon as opposed to AR. Okay? Now, doon sa mga sinabihan ko or sa mga sinasabi ko na mga walang laman or I wouldn't trade them, it doesn't mean na hindi na sila pwedeng lumipad. Siyempre, wala naman akong power para pigilan silang lumipad kung gusto nila, no? It's just that, siyempre, logic dictates. So, I'll just use that instead. Okay? So, ayun. I hope na may natutunan tayo kahit paano on this webinar. webinar ba tawag ito? Or this session ng StockWentuhan natin. So, ayun, this is it for now. Enjoy the rest of the week. Happy trading. And kung may mga questions kayo, if you need help, especially sa mga brokers, let me know. I'll try to see if may matutulong ako sa inyo. Okay? So that's it, guys. Maraming salamat for tuning in. Happy trading and good night. Bye-bye.